Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Got the garage all the way cleaned out. Got the Chevelle frame outside, the body outside. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my body actually moved inside. That way I can start cutting out my floors and doing all my metal work on it. Alrighty, so check it out. I got it back in the shop. And you can see I got the floor set up right here. Now I wanna take a reference off of this just to see exactly what I need to cut out on my actual body. That way I don't cut too little or cut too much. So most of this big stuff is gonna go. This is the main reason why we're replacing it, because it's all damaged right there. And it's got holes all over and all over there. It's bad. So I'm gonna probably cut about 6 inches in from where I need my main pieces to get cut out at, and I'm gonna try and cut it out in as big as sections as I can. So I'm gonna probably just come right here. My seam right here for the front of that right there is right here, you can see. So I'm probably gonna cut about right here all the way around. That way I can get a majority of this floor removed. And then I'm gonna go around all my edges and just slowly trim out all the edges. It's a lot easier that way than trying to get the edges out with the inside all in. So I'm gonna cut the inside out first. So check this out. I just finished making my first cut all the way around the front. You can see this is where it meets the firewall. So I cut about 4 inches off of that. Now I'm gonna come back after I get this main section out and I'm gonna slowly trim this away. I just wanted to show you guys this. This is the inside of the passenger rocker. And this is actually a plate, but the crazy thing is it's not even welded in. It literally is just there. I probably could pull this out if I wanted to. Like, look at that. Crazy. So I'm gonna fix that.
It's mixed on the beat.
So check it out. I got the main part of the floor cut out. Let me climb in here fast. Trying to cut my head on anything. Pretty cool standing in the middle of a car. So now I actually have to save these pieces right here because my new floor did not come with them. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to pretty much cut around this. So probably right along this. I'll cut it here and then I'll come back, cut it here all the way up to here because that's where my seam is for the rear of my floor. And I'll come right along that edge right there, down, back, same thing on the other side. You can see all those rust holes. That way I can get this big section out.
This is Mixlop Production.
Alrighty, so check it out. I got the entire front trimmed. This I just cut away because it's completely garbage anyway. I'm gonna use this for a reference to where my new floor is supposed to sit. So that's all done. And then this side, I had to get all of this out. Now, the back of this, the back piece that my rocker welds to is all rotted out. So I'm gonna build a piece that'll replace this, weld this in, and then I'll be able to weld my rocker to that and also on the sides here. But I was kind of struggling getting it out because it has 2 welds all the way up in there that I had to grind out and then 1 right there. Now I'll be able to get to all of those from the other side when I re-weld this. So now I just have to do what I did to this side, to that side, and I'm probably gonna have just the same amount of rust on that side. Oh no, I already do, you can see it's pretty much gone. So I'll have to build another 2 pieces for this, 1 for this side and 1 for that side. And then I'll be able to weld my rockers in. So I'm gonna get started on that side now. So check check it out. I finally got this front piece all the way out. You can see this side's way more rotted. The top of this was easier to get out because what they did was they just put screws in it all the way across on both sides. So yeah, they literally were just throwing this thing together to flip it quick. I hope nobody noticed. So the front is pretty much all the way done. Like I said, I'm gonna be done for today, come back tomorrow, and I'm gonna build these pieces first right here. I'm gonna use the template off of that side because there's no template on this side. I can't use it. So I'm gonna build those pieces first, and then I'm gonna actually move to the back and cut these out. Alrighty, so check it out. Got the shop all the way cleaned up, everything swept up. Got the Chevelle put back where it was before. I'm burnt out for today, so I got a lot accomplished today. Got the whole entire pretty much front all the way finished up. Just got the back to do now. So I'm gonna take off for tonight, but I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Alrighty, so me and Henry are back here bright and early the next morning. We're gonna finish getting this rear floor out. I got to do a lot of drilling inside my wheel well. All of these spot welds have to come out. That way I can get this piece, which is the last part of my floor, off. You can see I use this thing for reference pretty much, just to see exactly where I have to go all the way around, how much I have to cut. So this is that lip right there. So as soon as I get that off, this should just be able to slide up. You can see it drops down along the wheel well, and then it welds to the back of the back of the wheel well right there. So I'm gonna have to figure out where all the spot welds are here, and then drill all of these out or grind them out, and then this floor should be ready to come in. So we're gonna get started on that. All right, so check it out. I got that whole back piece removed. I don't care about any of this because we're replacing everything because it's garbage. You can see right there, it's just, he actually filled this with Bondo and then just painted over the top of it. So this is that piece. There was a ton, there was probably like 30 spot welds across the top of this that I had to cut out. So now next thing that I'm gonna try and tackle is I want to keep these because my new floor actually doesn't have them. They go right here next to this latch for the seat. So I need to keep those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grind out these spot welds here and see if I can get this floor to pry down from this. The hard part is I just have a brace right there, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but that brace is trash. I'm gonna try and save this piece right here though. So I'm gonna start that. And then after that, I'm gonna move to getting all these spot welds out and getting the back part of my rocker off, and then the same thing to the other side pretty much.
This is Mixlaw Production.
So check it out, I got the entire floor removed all the way around the front. I'm gonna have to make some more patch panels right here in the back for replacing the wheel wells, but this right here, I'm gonna have to make a patch for this, and then I'm also gonna have to make a patch on this side. So as you can tell, I made an absolute mess yet again. But crazy thing, check this out. So I was sitting here pulling on the quarter, and the entire quarter just came right off. And what's crazy is that is a brand new patch panel, but you could see they didn't even scuff it. They just smeared Bondo all over the top of it and then very poorly welded it on, and that's why it cracked off like that. So luckily we're redoing the quarters and all that. So I'm gonna take off for today, clean up a little bit, and then tomorrow I'm gonna start back up on it and start on getting the floor fitted in there. Alrighty, check it out. Me and Henry are back working on the Chevelle today. I'm gonna start by cutting these pieces out. I've got some sheet metal here I'm gonna replace them with. And then I also went and bought some rust seal. That way I can coat, I'm gonna wire wheel all this and then I'm gonna coat it all, that way it doesn't rust out again. So I'm gonna start by doing that. All right, so check it out. I got both my front pieces done. They're coated. Now I'm gonna coat the whole entire inside, but I just wanna make sure that's coated because my floor is gonna cover that, so I won't be able to get to it after.
It's mixed on the beat.
Alrighty, so I got everything painted underneath where the floor is going to sit. Just all the hard to reach areas that I won't be able to get to. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight, same thing with the front, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna get the floor in. All right, it's the next evening. All of my rust seal is all dry. I got these jack stands in here to be able to support my body. I'm gonna use out this new Harbor Freight tool I went and purchased to get all my holes punched, and then I'm also gonna clean all the surfaces where I'm gonna have to weld. I'm actually gonna screw all of this in with just sheet metal screws just to hold it into place. And once I have all of my panels mocked up, so my floor, my trunk, my wheel wells, once I have everything mocked up and screwed together, then I'll weld everything. But I don't want to weld anything right now because I want to make sure all of my gaps are good and I don't have to cut welds and move stuff later. Okay, so we got the floor in there in position. The only problem is I'm all the way back against this and I have to get it to scoot back so that will slide in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these supports here. I'm gonna make new supports for my trunk, and then this will be able to slide back more and we'll be able to slide that into place. Alrighty, so it's a new day. My phone actually stopped recording last night and I didn't get the full install of the floor, but it's pretty much screwed in. I had to move those bars, those supports back a little bit. That way we could get my floor back and slide them up into these front posts. And you can see it looks really good. Looks like it's coming along. So my gaps are all still decent how they were, but this gap all along the bottom actually looks really nice. So these aftermarket panels usually never fit perfect, but it's starting to fit up nicely. You can see I got it all screwed in there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to move these supports right here, and I'm gonna move them inside on the bottom of this rail on my floor. And that way this will be supported and I'll be able to cut out and remove my entire trunk, and then I'll be able to fit my trunk in and screw it in just to make it mocked up, because I actually can't weld this because my main floor welds to my trunk floor, which then welds to my back support. So I'm gonna have to get this up first before I do any welding.
This is Mixlop.
All right, so check it out. I got the majority of the trunk cut out. I just decided to do it in one piece. Now I'm gonna go around all my edges like I did the front floor and trim everything. That way my trunk, I'll just be able to set it up in there and screw it in and then get it ready to weld. So I'm right in the middle of cutting out this floor. I just decided to cut everything out because none of it was really welded. Look at this, like this quarter, I just pushed on it a little bit and yeah, completely fell off. These pieces are brand new. They were very poorly welded in, and I just wiggled on them and they were all loose, broke off. So I'm pretty much gonna have to rebuild the whole bottom of this car based off of my new panels. I can't use any existing stuff because it's all too far gone. So I'm gonna finish, yeah, look, the wheel wells are brand new too. Still got the residue from the sticker on it, crazy. So I'm going to finish cutting all of this out right here. So I'm finally back working on the Chevelle. It's been a couple of months. I've been working on a cutlass, trying to get that running. I got a video coming out on that a little bit later, but you can see I got the entire floor, rear floor cut out on the Chevelle. This piece right here is rusted. I'm actually gonna have to replace that. So that's ordered. And then I have to do this piece right here. I'm just gonna cut it because you can't actually buy just this front piece. You have to buy this whole entire thing. So everything here you have to buy in. It's one unit. It's kind of expensive. So talk to the customer, and what we're gonna do is we're actually just going to cut a little piece across there, and then I'm just gonna build a little L bracket and weld it in. And then after I get that done, I'll have to do this, and then after this is done, I can actually get my trunk and I can weld in or mock up my trunk. So check that out. That is my new rear tail piece that goes right here that I'm about to replace. I just came in yesterday. So my plan for today is I have to mock up my trunk. So I'm gonna bolt up my trunk, close it, make sure all of my gaps are good.
It's mixed.
So the deck lid is hung. Now I'm running into a couple of issues. When I close it, you can see how tight this gap is down here, and then it gets wider towards the top. But then on this side, the gap's nice and big all the way across, which means my deck lid may need to go this way a little bit. But the problem is I'm flush here and I'm flush here. So I can't twist or tweak anything at all because I'm flush back here. You can see this gap right here is very interesting. I'm gonna have to figure out what I do with this. It kind of is flat and then it bows down all the way in that edge. That might be this piece, but then that also could be my aftermarket trunk. And then the other problem I'm seeing right now is this side actually, the curve of it is really nice. It lines up nice with the quarter. But then if you look at this side, it goes way low right here. And I mean, it might be because they butchered these quarters and they're not where they're supposed to be. I'm actually going to wait and have to modify everything once my quarters are on. So now what I'm actually gonna do is, you can see I've got a little bit of rust right here. This rail's a little rusty. And I think this actually comes with my new quarter panels. So I'm actually gonna pull out my quarter panels and see how they look. And then I think instead of trying to split this piece in, I'm actually gonna cut off my quarters and do all that at once. Alrighty, so here's that new quarter panel. I got the other one still boxed up. For some reason, I thought that we had just got the skins. I didn't think we had the entire quarters. So I'm gonna go back to my original plan and I'm gonna actually cut this out first. That way I don't lose all of my structural support in the rear and everything doesn't move on me. So check it out, I got that piece cut out. Kind of got this rear tail piece mocked up a little bit. It's kind of messed up in here. It doesn't really stay. It's because both my quarters are pretty messed up on the insides. Only problem that I'm running into is my floor actually welds to this. So if I have my rear trunk floor welded to this and I cut off my quarters, this is the only piece that will be holding the entire weight of the rear trunk because my wheel wells were completely rotted out. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna brace these hinge supports right here. That way they don't move because I'm gonna cut these out. So I've got some angle iron right here. I'm gonna brace this and then I'm gonna brace for the front and then I'm going to start to cut out my wheel wells. So check that out. Now that I got all of that braced, you can see, so I did one across here like I said I was gonna do, and then I did one from this. And you can kind of see it all the way up to my inner quarter up there on both sides. And then I did one from here to my structure up there. That way, I was worried if I only did these, it might sag a little bit this way. So I put this one in, that way there will be no play now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on my wheel wells. I'm going to cut all the spot welds out of the braces first, and then I'm gonna pull them both out. I don't think they're gonna be too bad because they're already completely cut out for me already, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna get started on that. So check that out. I decided to cut all of this out so that I could get to these welds from the outside because I have to replace this anyway. Look how crazy this is. So this is a lower piece that I cut off right here. And look how many layers this has on it. Looks like they overlapped 4, 5 pieces of metal. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So that's why all that was freaking bubbling. But got all that cut out. You can see that they had some beautiful, beautiful welds in here, and hopefully I can just pull this off. And then they also, for some reason, put body filler in here. I don't know why they did that, but that might be down here because I know this is all body filler and then they just painted it black. So that's probably what that was.
This is Mixlop Production.
So check that out. You can see all of the Bono mud that is coming off when I chisel it. And I was actually right. Shout out to the people who did this work before because I don't even have to cut any welds. I can just pull this thing right off. You see, they just hammered this thing, man. But we're gonna fix it, we're gonna do it right. Well, after the wheel well hit me in the face, it is now out. Looks kind of crazy, the whole back of the car is gonna be gone. So now I'm gonna go to that side, I'm gonna get that wheel well out, and then also cut the quarter the same as I did on this side, that way I can get to it. So check this out, guys, this is kind of crazy. I was able to get this whole piece out as one, but man, that's just freaking crazy. Alrighty guys, well, I'm gonna get cleaned up. I think that's gonna be it for this episode on the Chevelle. I got a ton done. I really wanted to get the trunk floor in before I ended this episode, but I think it's just gonna be too long. So in the next episode, I'm gonna get the new wheel wells out of the boxes, getting them mocked up underneath the car. And then after that, I'll actually be able to have something to weld to bolt my trunk floor to. But man, that looks insane. I don't think I've ever seen a car this far apart before. So thanks so much for watching today's video. I'm gonna try and get more of these episodes out now that I'm working on the Chevelle full time. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my TikTok so that you can get updates on the Chevelle and also on the Blazer that I'm going to be doing. Kind of at the same time, I'm going to be focusing more on the Chevelle, but I want to keep the Blazer moving forward. So appreciate all the support. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any tips or tricks that I can do to get this going faster. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.